Welcome back to another video, and today we're doing my thoughts on the college football playoff. And today we're just going to be doing conferences and who I think is going to win. And next video, in part 2, we'll show different underdog teams and who I think is going to get in the playoff and who has a chance to get in the playoff. So, with that said, let's begin. Big Ten East, I have Ohio State coming out of there. Maryland looked impressive against Texas, but I don't think they're too good. Penn State, I think, will be a close second, but after the loss of Chris Godwin, McSorley doesn't have much to throw to, and Saquon Barkley can't do it all. Michigan has lost a lot, obviously. Tons of their seniors have left. Indiana and Richard Lago did look impressive against Ohio State, but I don't think they'll do much. Now I have Wisconsin winning the West, with Nebraska coming close second and maybe Iowa right behind them. Or not Nebraska, Northwestern. But Nebraska I don't think will have much of a chance. Purdue looked impressive against Louisville, but Iowa, they did okay against Wyoming. Wisconsin I think will just dominate though. So the Badgers go into the Big Ten Championship. In the ACC Atlantic, this is tough because Lamar Jackson in Louisville, Clemson, Florida State obviously. But I think Clemson will come out with a win in the Atlantic because Clemson's recruiting class is just amazing after their national title. Florida State will be just behind them with DeAndre Frangoy, obviously. And then Lamar Jackson, I don't think he'll lead Louisville too much after his Heisman season. And that's what I think about the ACC Atlantic, so Clemson I have winning that. Next I have the ACC Coastal, North Carolina, Georgia Tech, Virginia Tech, Miami, Pitt, Virginia, Duke. Now all those teams have a chance, but I think Virginia Tech will win. They looked impressive against West Virginia, and Miami is right there with them, so that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Especially after North Carolina lost Trubisky, how they'll do this year. But Virginia Tech is my pick. And they're going to lose, I think, in the ACC Championship. Okay, Iowa State, Kansas. I think they're at the bottom of the Big 12. Nothing they can do about it. They're just losing programs. Baylor obviously lost to Liberty, which is not good, but they have a bright future. West Virginia, after that tough loss to Virginia Tech, I think they're going to have a great season, and really anyone in the Big 12 is in it. I mean, Texas Tech, TCU, let's talk about Kansas State. I mean, Texas is ranked preseason top 25, not after they lost to Maryland, but after they lost Dante Foreman, I think, and their head coach, they're just not going to be the same. And Oklahoma State are the two main contenders. Baker Mayfield going to have a Heisman season, I think. Oklahoma State, that dynamic duo, Mason Rudolph and James Washington. I mean, who's going to stop that? And that'll really come down to it when the College Football Playoff Committee this year. Okay, Pac-12 North. Wazoo might crack the top 25. Oregon might be okay. Washington, Stanford. They're both impressive. Jake Browning, but I think Stanford might beat Washington out in this one. I mean, Browning can only do so much, and Stanford looked amazing against Rice. And that's all I have to say for that, I guess. I mean, it'll be interesting. Oregon State's still terrible, but in the South, I think UCLA did not look good in the first half against A&M, but in the second half they were wonderful. And Utah has a chance. Colorado, I think, was overrated. ASU and Arizona are okay, but USC, I think, will take this. Sam Darnold, coming off of a good freshman season. But even though they lost Juju Smith and Dory Jackson, it's USC. They'll have some recruits. They're gonna beat UCLA out, I think, and they're gonna go to the Pac-12 championship. Florida and Georgia, the main contenders here. I mean, in the SEC, Missouri did not look good against Missouri State. Kentucky and Vanderbilt will be Kentucky and Vanderbilt. Tennessee, I don't think they can compete. And Florida's defense, I think, might be a little bit too good for Georgia and Nick Chubb, who's coming off like his 10th NCAA season. I mean, I think Florida's going to go to the SEC championship here. So I think Alabama is all of our favorites. I mean, LSU maybe with Darius Geis, but A&M had a wonderful first half against UCLA, but they're not going to be able to win if they keep playing like they did that second half. Mississippi State, I don't think they can contend. Arkansas and Auburn, they're not going to contend. I mean, Alabama and LSU are the two main people, and I think Alabama, as long as Nick Saban's there, will be able to win the SEC. So that'll wrap it up for this video, and check out part 2 where I talk about underdogs and who I think will make to a New Year's Six Bowl, and my thoughts on who will get in the playoff. So that's it, and make sure you check out all my other videos, and thanks for the support. So, see you guys. Goodbye.